Hey guys, welcome back to today's video. Today I wanted to talk about where you can bring items and how you can dispose of items that you've decluttered. So it is now mid-January. If you're watching this, you've likely caught the decluttering bug that lots of people get into this time of year. And maybe you have piles and piles of things that you've decluttered from your home and you now need to get rid of. I think it's incredible that decluttering is becoming almost a trend and that people are realizing how awesome it is to live with less things in your home. However, it's so important that people are responsibly getting rid of the things that they're donating and not just throwing them into the garbage where they're going to end up in a landfill. So obviously there are places like Salvation Army or Goodwill or Value Village where you can donate things that you don't want. But in today's video, I wanted to give you guys some ideas of places that are outside of the box where you can get rid of things that you have decluttered in your home. So one item that is super common to declutter is your toiletries. And maybe you have a whole bunch of toiletries that are not opened at all, or they're lightly used. So maybe you have a foundation that wasn't a good match for your skin tone and you didn't return it in time, or maybe you have shampoo that really just didn't work for your hair. A lot of women's shelters or homeless shelters will take these items even if they're opened and gently used. Or another option is to just offer those to a friend. Maybe a shampoo didn't work for your hair, but it might work for your friend. So definitely don't jump to just throwing those things out. Clothing that you no longer wear is obviously another really common thing to declutter, and I think our go-to is to just put those all in a bag and bring them to a local thrift store. But a few other options for you guys are to host a clothing swap with some friends, whether it's just 3 to 4 friends, or you could open it up to a community of people that's bigger than that and have a big clothing swap where everybody brings stuff in and then everybody can leave with a few new things that they really love. If you have clothing items that aren't really donatable, like maybe old pajamas or something like that that nobody else is really going to want, you can definitely find ways to reuse the fabric, cut up the fabric, make cleaning rags or something like that with those. If you know how to sew, there are so many options. I'm not a seamstress, so I haven't really dove into this, but there are so many ways to reuse fabric. When you're decluttering old linens, use towels or extra sheets or blankets. A really good option for those is to bring them to a humane society or an animal shelter. In one of my previous videos about 25 things to declutter in 2020, I had so many people tell me that you can donate old towels and old sheets to humane societies. So apparently they're in huge need of those things because they go through them all the time. So even if you have really ratty towels or sheets, apparently they'll still accept those. Another item that you may have decluttered is just items that you spent a lot of money on and you don't want to give them away for free. One of my very favorite ways to declutter items is by using Facebook Marketplace. And of course, there's also Craigslist. In Canada, we have Kijiji. Personally, where I live, I've had a ton of success with Facebook Marketplace. So I'll just share a few tips on how I've utilized Facebook Marketplace and really had a lot of success with it. I think the most important thing is to price things realistically. A lot of times I'm browsing on there and I see a price that's listed at basically full price. And even if the item isn't used, you have to realize that if someone is going to spend $100 on whatever item, they're going to go to the store and buy a brand new one where they're positive that it's going to work. It's going to come with a warranty as opposed to buying your used item. So you have to price things competitively and in order to sell them. Otherwise, they're just going to sit around your house for months and months and then you're going to end up donating it anyway. So you may as well price it to sell, make the money right now, and then get the item out of your home. With Facebook Marketplace, I always do Porch Pickup, which just means that when somebody agrees to buy something, they agree on the price, then they always say, where are you located and when can I come get it? And I give them my address and I just tell them it's sitting out on the porch, you can come anytime you want, and then just leave the money in X location that we've agreed upon. This was a game changer for me when I was really decluttering my home earlier this year, because previously I found Facebook Marketplace so frustrating because people wouldn't show up, or you wait around for them forever and then they're 30 minutes late or an hour late, and I just found it so frustrating dealing with people's schedules. And doing Porch Pickup really just eliminates all of that. But I shared about doing Porch Pickup on my Instagram stories several months ago, and I had dozens of people that were so worried about people stealing items. And the reality is that could happen. Someone might steal an item. I don't do Porch Pickup with items that are over like $75. But almost everything I'm selling on there is between $10 and $30 anyway. And honestly, if someone's going to steal something that's worth $10, I was going to donate that anyway. So it has not happened to me, and I know lots of other people that do Porch Pickup. It hasn't happened to them either. I would really recommend you give it a try. And then if you have clothing items that are worth money, I know that a lot of people do Poshmark or ThredUp or consignment stores. Personally, I haven't had a lot of luck with those. I don't really buy like expensive brand name clothes, and if I do, I hold on to them basically forever. Plus, I find in Canada shipping is so expensive. I know that Poshmark did just become a thing in Canada, but because shipping here is so astronomical, it would honestly cost me $12 to send a tiny package with like one t-shirt across the country, or even just to the next province. And then that on top of the price of the item, I don't think it would be worth it. So I haven't dove into that at all. But I know most of my viewers are American, and I know that tons of people love using those sites for both selling and buying items. Another fun option to sell things is on your Instagram account or on your Facebook. And you might think like, I don't have 10,000 followers, nobody's gonna buy this, but you'd be surprised. Even the times when I have listed something up for sale, it's almost always someone that I knew personally in my own life that wants to buy it. So I would say even if you have a couple hundred followers on Instagram or Facebook, it might be worth a try. If you're decluttering kids items, of course you can bring them to a kids consignment store, but I would also recommend, if you don't need to sell them for money, just ask around in your community, and I'm sure that there's a mom in need who might not be able to afford the same things that you can, and you could just bless that person with free items. The next category of things that people are often decluttering is furniture, and of course you can donate those to lots of thrift stores, so you can sell them on Facebook Marketplace, but another awesome option is to donate them to Habitat for Humanity. If you have a local Habitat for Humanity in your city, I think a lot of them will even pick items up if that's helpful for you. And then I've recently learned that you can donate used prescription glasses to the Lions Clubs. So there are Lions Clubs all over the country, and apparently a lot of the local community centers, or whatever they're called, will take used prescription glasses, and they have a program where they will give those out to people in need. And then the last item is used batteries and used light bulbs. I know a lot of times we just throw these things in the garbage, but that's actually not the proper way to dispose of them. They should be brought to a proper disposal place, and IKEA usually has a place to dispose of your old batteries and your old light bulbs, even if they're not IKEA brand. So those are my tips on where to donate and how to get rid of items that you have decluttered in your home. I hope that those were helpful, and if you haven't already done so, please make sure to subscribe to my channel, as I love talking about decluttering and just pursuing a more minimalist lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in a few days.